It is a glorious day.
Be warned.
Oline will not tell you of this. She disapproves of pride. She does embody nature's tooth, a sharp and silent, simple truth. And yet Oline will always shine among the ballad's lore. For humble though her carriage be, a greater knight we'll never see.
Of Mithoro's blessings.
There is but one true pattern, one design. It is the authorities. Everything is his.
To believe.
Mithoro is the branch and the root.
Yes, what do you want?
I take this responsibility very seriously.
Don't test me.
Is waiting for you. Please place the... You have nothing to fear in His Majesty. He has entered a reverie. It will allow him to step forward, and His Majesty will reveal what you wish to know.
I heard about Haxi. Impressive work. It's been a long time since I...
Conceived in chaos, birthed in stolen magic, torn from fate, child of two fathers, treacheries in treacheries, winter is broken. The puppet king upon his throne, drinking flattery and lies. The power that grows in him is not his own. In the east it did begin, as it will end. From behind the veil she screams. Madness and rage. madness, and rage.
We realize this may be confusing for you. Fate, like the Fae, cannot... But the Tuatha are Fae who have become something new. Gadflow claims that the Tuatha are the work of his new god. If the Tuatha are the creations of a god, what does that... The time of the Fae is passing. Our land and our souls are diminishing. Few Fae... Gadflow's war means the death of us all, Fae and mortal alike. It is written in the... It is too late for us, but not for you. That is the power of a god in the brash hands of a mortal. This is why Niralim fear. This age has seen much change. We were wrong. You are intertwined with the power in the East. There can be no doubt of... We do not know what will happen when you travel there, but we know that the power behind Gadflow is your ultimate. His god holds your answer and the fate of this world. I thank you, and perhaps you can help change our... I have seen those who were destined to be heroes, for whom great deeds came naturally. They come. You do great things not because you must, but because you choose to. That is by far a far truer greatness. You are right. No one can force this upon you. But the Tuatha and their god will continue to... When they do, know that while you may be unbound by fate, to fight it, you must assemble allies. Seek their aid to assemble your forces. Only then can you hope to resist the forces arrayed against you. The summer and winter courts have always ruled the Fey lands in harmony. As the seasons, the winter Fey who followed him called themselves Tuatha, and bore a mark of Prismir upon them. Since our kind returned to this world so long ago, it has been my honor to serve as... My rule was always shared with the High King of the Winter Court, until Gadflow arose. Now both of our people... The weave is a puzzle. Each person is a piece. The edges of their fate locking together with the people around. However, you are no longer a puzzle piece. You are a dollop of paint, but more dangerously, you repaint the picture of reality itself. Who can trust that It is the deepest tragedy that our fall should come from our own. Make no mistake, Gadflow is the harbinger. In fighting him and his army, you will surely spell our doom. For that tragic truth, we are the dreams of warmth and safety, given physical form. But these dreams are endangered by Gadflow, our cold cousins across the sea. Do not think the Winter Court our enemies, for we love to walk in their starlit gardens once again, or sip their calming stone tea. But the Tuatha...
Respect the Court of Summer. Respect
the Court of Summer.
The age of the Fae is drawing to an end.
I couldn't make out half of what the king was saying, but it sounds like you've got... Good thing you won't be facing it alone. In fact, I think I've got a lead on finding an old friend of ours. Old Fulmerus Hughes, of course. If anybody can help, it's bound to... I've been asking around and I was able to make contact with his superior. He thinks he might be able to help find Hughes. All gnome scholars have a Templar who sponsors their research, and apparently Hughes' sponsor, Templar Octien, is desperate to find him. Go southwest to the Hollowlands and Detir. Octien will be waiting there to discuss how you might reach Hughes. You know the Summer Court in Issa? Well, the Winter Court are their darker siblings. They're not evil. He once offered me an honorary knighthood after I slayed the Dream Eater of Amora. He was quite... You're not the only one on the hunt for Hughes. Octien has followed his trail to the Hollowlands in Detir. You'll want to talk to him. Strange crystal, Prismia. It's normally a shade of blue, but when you treat it and charge it with magic...
Who would have thought you were so interesting? Death seems to have worked out very... Agarth's looking for escape. Neuralim's looking for a savior. And Tatarian is looking for a champion. And I'm impressed. You're right. This won't be easy. The Tuatha have our forces under siege at Mel Senshir, and their power has only grown. You'll need more help than just me and that old Fate Weaver. You'll need an army. A few years ago, one warrior could have slipped past unnoticed, but stealth is no longer an option. But there is hope. In the plains of Erethel, there waits a player who has been away from this game for far too long. It is time to meet me in the village of Emer, and I will tell you everything. General Talera was in charge of our forces to the east in Cluracan, but a decade ago, Witch Knight Malwyn and his Tuatha. Since then, she's been looking for some way to take back the land she lost and regain her honor. You might be just the help she needs. Be on your way.
Stay civil.
What is it?
You are not meant to be here. Mortals have no place on... I am guardian of the Court of Summer and protector of the font. The court communes in the building behind you. They are not to be disturbed, for their wisdom can shift the stars, and many believe that the font supplies all of the western Feylands. The realm of its petals open once every few seasons, lifetimes for mortals such as you. But its seeds are potent. I patrol the gardens near the font during the daylight hours, but must return to reverie at twilight. It is a powerful communion between the Fae and the magic that sustains us. We come together in the evening hours. You must go now.
Hello.
Welcome. Oh, you took me by surprise. I'm not accustomed to mortals on the trellis. I am Lord Saramer, the High Lore Sage of Issa. I am here to answer all questions regarding the House of Ballads and the House of... May good fortune follow. You're always welcome. The ballads belong to all in the telling, mortals, by choosing to lead the Summer Fae. Titarian is eternally linked to our... He feels the waning magic as a mortal might feel his heart sink at the sight of his sunrise. When our seasons end, Titarian will be the... It is meant exclusively for those close to the Summer Court, or the ambassador who wishes an audience. Our most honourable institutions reside on the trellis, including the House of Ballad Sanctuary, and what was once... We are the children of the fields and fountains, a fey body filled with a deep breath of magic. All that you see around you, for many seasons we lived in these forests and canyons alone, distrusting, apart. But once we felt the call to join together, we became... It was one of the Fae's great houses until its leader was challenged and beaten. Now even the sanctuary here on the trellis is wilted and closed as a result of our great loss. Or perhaps it's... This sanctuary is where the knights of our most prestigious house stay when visiting the Court of Summer. I act as all Summer Fae clutch the glory of the House of Ballads to its collective breast, knowing that the deeds of one are indeed the deeds of all. May good fortune follow.
May the stone sing your song to the ages. May the breath of time remember you. Olain thought to bring the light of truth. Once the ill were brought to health.
You feel it, don't you? The font's waning flow. You are intimate with the way... As it is in every season, this family of Summer Fae has communed at the feet of its greatest leader. While wise and powerful, he's also brash and narrow. A sliver of light in a world so dark that most of us are blind. The font is the source of all Summer Court magic. That flow has waned in recent days. It's unnatural, even as the magic in the world grows. The Fae, it seems, will... The font's flow is controlled from the light. However, the magic that regulates this flow can only be used. It can only be opened by one who carries drops from each of the 5 sacred pools. The sacred pools are the collection points for the... You will find 2 of the pools below in the gardens themselves. One near the Ballad Sanctuary. It has been located here for many of your generations, what we call seasons. Only in recent... The Summer Court resides on the highest terrace, far above the rest of it. It is the source of Summer Court magic and touches our realm of origin, the land of Ashara. Without its constant flow, every season one is chosen to attend the font's magical flow, to act as ambassador. I feel the strength of the currents. They wash through me. They rise up and overflow. However, most mortals know nothing of what lies beyond the veil. The magical realm of Ashara. It is a mystery even to us, as we collect water from each of the 5 sacred pools, and then go to the Lyceum Grove. Goodbye.
What do you want?
Welcome to the Trellis, Duskling. This is a sacred Just look at the House of Valor, the crumpled husk of its former self. Is this the fate of all our kind? The House of Seasons was where those in tune with the Great Cycle went to understand. But the Great House now stands empty, its occupants gone. King Titarian will not speak of it. Growth is violent, and nothing can reach fruition without surviving conflict. Now, however, this great house has fallen to mortals such as you. That is why this sanctuary is with. The Trellis was created as common ground where the members of the great houses may meet to share knowledge and... However, it's not been the same since the House of Valor fell and the House of Seasons was deserted. And I always thought every one of our kind has a gift, they say, a role in the telling. Mine is to seek harmony with nature by keeping the wild fae. Most of my seasons are spent in the shadows of the canopy, tracking my prey. I have come to the Gardens of Issa to report the decay of wild fae. They are either they are vanishing due to the decline in fae magic, or someone is hunting them. It's my Goodbye.
Yes, Duskling. Please leave me to my task. Bother someone else.
Yes? Welcome to the gardens, mortal. But you have not come to visit the city, nor to speak with me. You are here. This is where the Fae of Issa fulfill their roles in the telling. You mortals call it work, but I am only a visitor here like you. Perhaps I was drawn to this place by something greater than myself. Perhaps it was you. I can help you divine the role you will play in coming events, and the skills needed to finish that journey. We are farewell.
Put your blades away.
There are many in this city.
mortal? Here?
Stop where you are!
Perhaps a...
What's this then?
Yes.
Put your blades away.
You won't stay.
I understand. But the High King will Please, come forward into the light of the font. Ah, nothing noble about you. That must mean you're the one Erwin is expecting on the trellis. Go. It is a special district set aside for the young races. A haven, if you will. Do not worry. Felltown has the amenities that your kind need to lead a mortal life, such as merchants, a smithy, and a tavern. High King Titarian fulfills his role as our wise ruler. He gathers around him the bravest and most gifted advisors. Like his predecessors, Titarian's goal is to maintain the great cycle, and to keep the balance that has sustained. Once, the understyle was all around you, spreading from the garden's gates to the great trunks of the trellis. But that was... There is little that mortals need to know about the trellis, for it is where the worthy await their moment before the high. Everyone who stands before the light of the sun must prepare themselves, lest they be blinded. It is behind me, up the great... Every living creature in our world is part of a chain of death and rebirth, even the Fae. However, when we pass into the flow, the king rules from his throne high above on the font, and he has done so for many seasons. You should know this, since you've been sent to speak with him. The gardens have been here since the first of our kind sprang forth. Only in the last few... This is a safe place, and we intend to keep it that way. To that end, we ask mortals to adhere to the peace... The font is older than everything around you. It is the origin from which we flow. If you search for the heart of Summer Court magic, most mortals in Issa are stripped of weapons upon entering the city. However, there are... We do this for your own protection, of course. There is a fire in Dustling blood that must be quenched by violence. I've never understood it. Farewell. I understand.
I preferred it when the gardens were peaceful.
Welcome to the merchant's house.
Hey there.
I've got what you need here.
What is it, friend? You've been watching me long enough. What is it? Did I wrong you? It's as good a place as any, I guess. But after a while, people begin to remember. Besides, could there be a better place to hide from this offensive war? The only... Let the Fae try to stop me from carrying arms in the city. Weapons are my trade. I have no interest in this war between mortals and the deathless. It is a waste of life, and I have my own private battle. If you're willing to spare the gold, I can teach you what I know. In this battered old skull is a lifetime. What you've no doubt heard is correct. I am the Holt Friend. I forged both. My youth was spent as a mercenary, but I have since renounced those ways. Unfortunately, my enemies have long memories. I don't care to stay in one place for too long. Felltown sounded like a good opportunity. I can't say the peace edict has hurt business, but it's not exactly easy to train students in blacksmithing without weapons or... It is an ancient Alfar kingdom far across the sea in the dense swamps of Klurkon. I once helped its great lords overcome a terrible Bolgan problem. I'll be here.
Stop where you are, Dustling. Perhaps like a sword in its scabbard.
Stop where you are.
Perhaps goodbye.
Need anything? If you're looking to buy armor, I'm the only one in Felltown who's authorized to sell it. I don't have many weapons to offer, on account of the peace edict, but there's still a selection to pick. Being here isn't good for business, that's for sure. I see the same damn 20 faces every day. But it's an honor for Britt and I to be here. My twin brother and I were entering the army to fight for the Alfar when I panicked. I couldn't. I'm not proud of running, but I'm much more useful here, as an unofficial ambassador of sorts. The Tuatha were intensifying their attacks against Mel Sinshir, the bastion in the east. Of course, the Fae didn't have laws. At least not official ones, until we arrived. Now they insist that those of us who live in... You must be one of the special exemptions. Let me guess. Ambassador? Scolia Arcana? This is where the Fae keep us so we don't blemish their pretty city. Can't say I blame them. We're an unruly and ugly lot, Mort. He's a dear friend from years ago. He spent time as my apprentice, but recently set out on his own. He sells authentic ritual Fae... blades outside in the square. Have a good day.
Idle hands can lead one in farewell.
Stop where you are.
Perhaps I can
obey.
Yes?
Get over here. We don't abide by strangers in Issa. In this city, everyone is family. Not much to tell. Heard the war horn of the recruiters and packed my bags. Slipped out in the dead of the... What good is fighting when the Tuatha don't die? Besides, I'm a businessman. I got my hand on a pass into Issa, and the rest has been... The dockside district in Rathir is a lovely place. If you're looking to have your throat cut or contract a nasty disease. It's better than the cellar crawl space I called home just 2 months ago, believe me. The Fae may be grumpy, but they've got nothing on giant... Well, technically, we're not supposed to carry or sell weapons in Issa. But if you're on the market for something deadly, I'm your man. Just don't go black. It's not exactly the keys of Rathir, or even the hospitalis quarters of Edessa. But Felltown has its charm. You know, that neighborhood in the gnome city of Edessa where the poor live. Oh, it's a lot of fun. Okay, then.
It's been slow today. Nice to see someone who's interested in doing business for a change. What do you need? Nice talking.
hope you're here about the job. Demand is higher than ever. I'm just too busy to deal with... Sure. You want to know about me? It's understandable. My mother was a merchant in Rathir, and I learned the trade at her side. I took the apprenticeship with Gwenna Hand. You think I like being confined to this cage? Think again. And after all we've done for them in this war, the Court of Summer has no true influence. If it did, perhaps this ridiculous... I can sum up the war in one word. Folly. It is folly. She's the general merchant in the United Merchants delegation down the road. We've been friends for years now, I believe. Not just anyone can enter the secret city of the Fae. Those in the United Merchants are the lucky ones. Of course, once you see how much... It's safe, that's for sure. At least for the time being. Making a fortune is what? These visitors come with obscene amounts of gold. I created a blade. Fae blade, of course, that makes them authentic. Something all of them had to have. I called it the Honor brand. Truth be told, it's dull as a stick, but it's easy to make. Listen, if you can find the parts and make them, I'll pay good money. Fabulous, fabulous! You know a good deal when you see it. There aren't enough people like you, and once you start forging the Honor brands, bring them to me and I'll provide you with just compensation. There should be plenty of parts around the city. For creatures with no interest in possessions, they sure know how to collect a fair... Goodbye.
There's always a festival in Felltown. Stop where you are! There's always a festival in Felltown. Stop where you are!
Perhaps.
Sword in it.
Let me guess. You're here to buy a title. No? A bride? I apologize. Forgive me. Sometimes the work in this place is too much. I thought Issa would be I don't believe the Fae see the Losselfar and Dokkulfar as separate groups. They tend to view the world, and sometimes working alongside the Dokkulfar is difficult. But we have an arrangement. They adhere to their goal. You think I want to be here, stuck in this giant vegetable? Never. My mother volunteered me for this position, and I have a young soldier back home who waits for me. But can I be with him before he sails? No. I have to admit the war is the only reason I'm not still resisting my appointment. Something must be done. You know it as well as I do. The Fae must help. Do yourself this one favor and leave this place as quickly as you came. It's a den of deceit and malice. You don't want I understand. Well, I can offer you the traditional Alpha titles that are available at the embassy. This one is worn by our most secretive scouts and agents. It is a good choice. I proclaim you the Dark Hunter. See you later.
I apologize, but one of my station has many
Welcome to the embassy, young one. I am Scholar Icob of the Domus Politica. I've had a long career as an ambassador with the Domus Politica, and as a clerk in the Grand Bursars. But there's much to be gained from an alliance with the Summer Court, although I can't. They've already grown and changed. The Tuatha themselves are a new breed of creature. We have a unique interest in the Fae, but I cannot explain further. I will say this. The scholars in Odessa have a keen interest in gaining High King Titarian's trust and cooperation. A flighty creature. During my audience with the king, he forgot my name not once, but twice. It was insulting. But did he notice? I have no love for the other races here, if that's what you're asking. The Varani are coarse and brutal, while the Alpha, the Ormain, well, they don't leave much of an impression, if I must be honest. I'll forgive them for their blandness. After all, we find them endlessly fascinating, in their ambition, in their magic, and in their disregard for the natural order. Very well. A sign of greatness is to be many things to many people. To never let one role define. We in the Domus Politica take such honors very seriously. It means you have our endorsement. As a result, all herald. Of course, it's one simple service I can provide. Perhaps with time and effort, you will one day reside with us here in the embassy. An excellent choice, and one befitting of your achievements. I proclaim you tyrannic. Farewell.
Stop where you are, Dustling. Perhaps goodbye.
Don't trust the silence. There's treachery.
Aren't you bold? This is the Varani wing of the embassy, and few venture here without being summoned. I have lived in less hospitable places. The Fae may not understand what it means to be mortal, but I have served my people for 40 years. Now I serve here, in the gardens. It is here where I enjoy being this close to those I'm competing against. As always, the Varani will triumph. The High King knows why we are here, yet he does nothing. Our people die at the hands of the Titarian, and the Summer Court will know our anger, and they will aid us or perish. Probably a good idea. You don't want to attract too much attention to yourself. For the most part, they're the political equivalent of trinkets. Playthings that are bought and sold for status. Fae heralds will announce. The Varani allow the purchase of several titles for use in the gardens of Issa. But they are rare and should be worn with great respect. Ah, one of our most unusual titles. You will be watched with a close eye when you walk with this name. I proclaim you Death's Cryptic Hand. Stay out of my way. This had better be worthy of my time. I don't have time for this. Then we must do what needs to be done.
Perhaps we must finally swallow our dignity and... You must be the special messenger Titarian's expecting. Trust me, the rest... I am Methani Keen, Dokalfar ambassador to the Summer Court Fae. This is where the Fae hide us to keep us out of sight. I used to take offense, but I got over it. They are a council of Fae nobles that advise the High King in matters of politics. Not, well, more of a game than usual. You understand what I mean. Not everyone is welcome up there. It's where the court of summer nobles spend their time reminding themselves of past glory. I've met with him several times. I'll admit, he radiates a certain presence. Issa is fine, and the Fae are tolerable, but many believe they should do more to support the war effort. Something is about to happen. But that is all I can say. This is neither the time nor the place. If you're interested in, I will wait for you there. This is not the place. I will meet you in the time and goodbye.
Hello, I am Ambassador Calder of the Almain. We may be new to the region, but we are just as involved. It is simply an honor to be here. We Almain are doing our part for the war effort. But like most of my kin, I have humble roots. My parents were both trappers on the Snaketail River, feeding much of Whitestone. Despite my position as lead ambassador to the Summer Court, I am an outsider. There is bad blood between some of the races. I do not wish to speak ill of other diplomats, but Ambassadors Keen and Brenner of the Alfar and Varani are plotting against each other. If that is your wish, you are now stripped of your current station. Buying a title will grant you the honor it demands. Court heralds will address you by your appropriate position. The Almain are new to diplomacy, but there are still several powerful titles available for purchase. It's your money, friend. Spend it wisely, and as you choose. Carry on.
Stop where you are, dustling.
Yes,
Farewell.
mortal.
Welcome to the Mortal Tavern. I believe they call it Asker's Bar.
Goods in conversation here.
Don't you know who I am? You wouldn't speak to me so openly if you did. There is no more important nature than that which lusts for battle. Creation and destruction. I am the flame that blackens the dirt. The smoke that blocks the sun. My time in the Withering War was my— You fell persons are ignorant, aren't you? The Great Cycle is what gives balance between— As long as the Great Cycle persists, this world we share may continue to refine itself on a— We adore him in every guise. Yet he has a wistfulness that I do not understand. There is no fire in— The Summer Court would not stand for the mortal ambitions of Own, King of the Winter Court. So we burned him. My place is prowling the Feylands in search of a worthy challenge. Not here, but
You look like one who enjoys a game of hexes. We mortals need something of our own here in Issa. Why can't it be gam? What do you want to know about me for? Is this some kind of Fey interrogation? Keep your— Folks here have gold. That's enough for me. I don't care where I find myself, just so long as the people there are— Not much to do here in the Fey City, but lighten your pockets and have a good time doing it. You had a look about you. Listen, all you need recall. First, you start with an ante.
What'll it be? Oh, I'll miss you. And your money. Hexes and I will be here if you want to come back for a visit. You'll be back.
If you fancy a game of hexes, Callie King.
Hey there, pretty. This is Aska's Alley, best tavern in Issa. If you're new in the city, I can help. I know everything about the Understyle, the Embassy, the Scholia Arcana. We provide your basic public service. Ale. And if drinking isn't your thing, then you can always stop by the Hexes Gate. Sure, we've got a place to sleep on the floor over there, but it'll cost you. Fine, it's up to you. When Issa first opened, the Alfar approached the humans about creating a shared shop, so people here could get their sundries. All of this. Most of the United Merchants are good people, like Wystron and Gwenna, but that blacksmith's apprentice... It's the Fey neighborhood on the other side of the city. There you'll find... They don't mind if you go exploring in the Understyle, but I wouldn't suggest it unless you know your way around. The Fey can be easily offended. Like I said, it's all magic to me. If the Fae said this city got its power from glowing purple antelopes, I'd probably believe them. I'm just a hostess. Is that the one at the far end of the Understyle? Yeah, I think that's the place. You see, the city gets its magic from the water. They call it the fountain. Or is it the wellspring? I never remember. I'm sure it's just the Askers took me in when my pa was killed in the war. That's been nearly 10 years. Now this is my home, pretty. It's where you'll find me every day and every night. Oh, if I had the finery and manners, you wouldn't find me anywhere but the Embassy. But it's a dreadful place these days, what with the war. The Darkelfar and Varani are practically at... I prefer the United Merchants delegation. Those are my people. Olana and her squire Brio, they have the good fortune to meet with all the nobles who visit the High King. A life... Oh, that's a sinister spot, isn't it? Even the Fae take a few extra steps to walk clear of there. Don't trust any... So you want to brush up on your bad luck, do you? That game will do it for you, all right. Speak with Kali in the back.
Right.
Bye. I know.
Evening.
If you're looking to drown your worries at the bottom of a bottle, this is the place for you. But if you're looking for the Victor's Brew, we don't sell that in Aska's Alley, and you'll have to take your... The ambassadors requested that facilities be created where flesh and blood folks could... So the Allmain approached my family about starting a tavern. There's a brewery near Rathir that makes it. Very small, very secret. It's not a drink for the man who appreciates craftsmanship, tradition. It just helps the soldiers... Oh, yes, sorry. The United Merchants Delegation. It's a coalition of traders that have been granted permission to sell their wares in Issa. I wouldn't say I ran from the war. I just don't need to know every little thing that's going on. There are other ways to help. Getting folks to... I know better than to criticize the Fae. They call us children of dust. We treat them like people. This city has been here for thousands of years. Longer than that, even. It will be here long after we're... It's the most popular drink in Amalur. At least it is now. My brother and I are working on a new drink, but it requires... Wait a minute. Maybe you could help. If you do, I could see to it that the merchants in Issa... So here's what we're thinking. Bring back our grandmother's favorite The recipe calls for bristletongue seeds. And if you're talking rare ingredients, bristletongue tops the list. The problem is that the Fae control the use of bristletongue, as it's a product of the Font's waters. Talk to Jackson, their apothecary. It's been in our family for 4 generations. Our grandmother entrusted us with the formula, and we made a fortune from it. But I'm afraid we've been replaced. King Almir the Bold, the founder of our people's nation. I'm sure you've heard of him before. We're named after him. He spends his time in the Lyceum Grove in the Understyle section of town. He's an odd duck, always crafting new tonics. Some advice? Don't drink any. Good luck.
Turn away, mortal. The Den of Night is meant for the impudent. It is where the brazen and unrepentant are sent to consider their crimes. They are given time to reflect, and when they are ready, they may brave the beasts of the hollow to... It's a great privilege for mortals to reside in this, our most sacred dwelling. Try to deny your dustling impulses. My own telling has brought me here to the Gardens of Issa, to act as one of its guardians and caretakers. I'll protect it from any threat, including... Avoid the Den of Night, Dust.
Everyone who slumbers in the den of night has farewell.
Oh, excellent. Another... Oh, you, Dustling. How would you like to make some of your shiny, bright metal? Few Dustlings ever make their way to these gardens. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you not like to be... I am steward of the High King's List, and apprentice to the Lady of Receivership. Well, I've never met him, of course, but they say he is quite incredible. As tall as a tree and radiating a great light. She is well suited to her role as the Lady of Receivership, as she enjoys judging the worth of others. I enjoy my role as steward, but my fear of Lady Olana overshadows any play. My role is with the Hall of Appointments, to prepare visiting ambassadors. Right now there are 4 terrible, regal lords and ladies that wish to see. They must enter the font in a procession, but each has his or her own preferences. And I can't afford to... Wonderful! That's one less aggravation. The dignitaries have been seen about the gardens, enjoying its many splendors. Everywhere. Goronet is in the Hall of Appointments, but the others are all over the city. Goodbye.
You're a long way from Fel... Yes? Oh, a mortal in the understyle. This is indeed a treat. Come closer. This is where we watch over the font, the source of the font's flow can be measured, directed, and even regulated, depending on the needs of our... Farewell, mortal. Welcome to the Lyceum Grove, where the magic... I enjoy the mortal world immensely. It adds such texture and color. It may be difficult to believe the understyle consisted of everything growing beneath the... I am the steward of tinctures and elixirs. A meaningless title, one I gave myself. Font Master Nomeron insists that everything flows as it should, yet I have seen his worry. He has the role of monitoring the font's flow throughout the city and the Feylands. Bristletongue, my moy, that would be something. A mockingbird with the font, but before I do that, you need to offer me something. As steward of tinctures and elixirs, I often dabble in alchemy, especially with the water from the font. And good. I will know what this does to the... Go on, big gulps now. If you ever wish to learn, come visit.
could you possibly want from me? I am Warlord Wenery, Lady of the Red Sands. I am not to be disturbed. Of course. But see... I come here only to observe. I wish not to be prodded every few moments. I am not petty, but I have limits, as do we all. I know... Whatever you do, do not make me walk behind the High Fae Mage Goronet. How shall I put this? If you value this position, you will make sure Lord Setter is not behind Huntress Hartwin. My only request is that Lord Goronet follow far behind me. He and his stink belong to... Of course.
Hexes?
Please obey the edict.
Mortals welcome. I do hope you are staying safe, stranger. I wouldn't want you to tear that skin of yours or leave it. Your kind has tried for so long to gain access to this sacred place, to be near it. What do they fear, I wonder? I am the attendant of the court's list, and the lady of receivership. This is where those who seek an audience with the summer court must first make the fae-fulfill roles in the telling, be it king or steward. If one wishes to ascend the heavens, one must abide by the laws of nature. Farewell, friend.
Greetings.
Another steward? When did the Gardens of Issa become such a teeming pot of nonsense? Me? Well, my seniority dictates that I should be leading I should bring up the rear. I will make it to Tartaryon's throne, even if I have to crawl. Great Huntress Hartwen should go first, leading us all. She's particularly like that. I would hate to... I have seen more days than any of the others combined, and I'm slow because of it. Of course...
Why, hello. I am Viscount Setter, the All-Seer. Order? I care nothing for order. However, if you are the one who determines such things, may I ask that you place me behind the Warlord Wenner? It would be best if Garnet trails far behind Great Huntress Hartman. Once at each other's throats. Remember? Behind, lady. Always a pleasure. I am at your...
Good day. Let's see. If I change the motion to more a twist, will the spell be redoubled?
Don't know if we've had the pleasure. I'm the finest merchant. Can't say that I have much in the way of magical ability. You can't just have a group of book-minded mages and expect the organization to take... When I first arrived here at the instruction of the Order, I... was terrified of the pleasure doing business.
Hello. Well, happy to see an unfamiliar face. Scholia Arcana's didn't know the Fae had cities, or whatever you might call this, until I came out here. If you do enough good works, the Scholia sends you to Issa. I love the Order. Never felt more at home than among my people. Stop by again.
Stop where you are, dustling. Perhaps a sword in its scabbard.
Hello.
That's not quite right. Damn quiet, damn fools. I'm sorry, friend, I didn't see you. I'm an experienced sagecrafter. My skills as a mage leave much to be desired. But no, the finest practitioners of the arcane crafts on the continent can be found. There are many things we have learned from our time with the Fae. Well, a few nights ago, I was the victim of an attempted robbery. That night, 3 initiates fled the chapter. Cassera, Aloran, and they could only have run into the She. Can you find them? Someone attempted to steal a valuable gem from me. None of Cassera, Aloran, and Bertrand. They're somehow involved in the attempted theft. And thank you! Find out what happened and I'll be grateful. You've got to find them. They're somewhere in the She. There's 3 of them. Cassera, Bertrand, and Aloran. They must be in the She. Find them there. Until next time.
Welcome to the Issa chapter house of the Scholia Arcana. How may I be of assistance? As a docent of the Scholia Arcana,
My duties involve handling all tasks necessary for the data. The Issa chapter is but a small branch of our larger Rathir chapter. We focus more on researching the magics of the Fae and Dalentarth. We are a collective of mages, and those that have a mind to unravel the ethereal phenomena of these Fae. Despite Jorum's frustrations, the wild magic, it is a great honor for us to be granted a place among them. We are an order of magic practitioners dedicated to the While the heart of our power lies in Rathir, we keep an embassy here in Issa to maintain. Traditionally, our applicants undergo years of preparation, but we understand your Ever since you entered the city, we've been watching you. After all, an endorsement. If it is your wish to join our order, you must first complete the trial. It is a ritual that will better equip us to understand. I will not lie. Some do not survive Of those who do, only a select few are chosen to become members of our order. Then first I shall present you with this. It is the story of the order's founding in a good prime of... Now I shall summon the circle of mages necessary to... Savant Engar will lead the trial. Speak to him in the Delving Hall. We are a society of mages. Short of joining, the best way to learn about the order is to read On the Founding of the Scholia Arc. It is not for me to divulge the details of the trial. I can only advise. Farewell.
Do you have the authority to be here?
Keep your weapon sheathed. It's the peace.
What is it?
You've done well, Child of the Dust. Those below will never know what is really... But in the end, is this a part of the many... Take this. You're brave. Perhaps we will meet again. Farewell. Greetings. Dustling.
Be well.
Walk away, mortal.
This is a waste of time.
You've got the seeds! Now we'll see if the Victor's Brew can stand up to a new challenger. Take this, friend. And like I promised, the merchants here will give you a discount. You've got our home. See you soon.
Good. You've come. I'm sorry to make you wait like this, but what I mean to discuss is The Varani cannot stomach Tatarian's neutrality. They believe that... I believe this as well. But I would never resort to violence. I cannot let that happen. It will ruin all my people have achieved here. Of course, it is the right thing to do. The leader of the... Every night, the ambassador strolls Memory Walk, alone. She carries... Afterwards, dispose of them. Destroy them. Salvage them. I don't care. The Varani communicate secretly using weapons. They engrave codes into the blades of daggers and swords. We believe this particular pair of daggers describes the defenses of Issa, where it's strong and where it's weak. She is no politician. She is a warlord, and a cruel one. I've heard stories that would make your heart brittle. She was sent here for one reason. She spends most of her time in the embassy, but in the evenings, she enjoys a leisurely stroll. Goodbye.
Greetings.
Most mortals would rather... Goodbye, my friend.
I am the great huntress Hartwan, and you are not allowed on the trellis. What brings you here, beautiful? How quaint. Well, I am the most respected and most deserved to lead. Besides, I detest that harlot, Warlord Win. Goodbye.
How strange.
So, you're done. A right group of snakes, eh? So, any insight into how I should... It's good that someone does. Go on. Let's line up these backstabbing serpents. Yes, yes. All right. Next. Of course. And then? Yes, yes. Sorry, friend. It looks like you failed. I don't think they'd be too pleased with that. Farewell.
You belong in Feldtown.
May Lyria touch you.
I've heard rumors. Something's happening to the
Greetings. I have some ability with the art of sage crafting. Do you wish for some instruction? Return when you wish to learn more. There is always time to grow your skills. Should you wish, I can offer you a chance. I came to the Scholia Arcana because magic flows, and though the magic is strong, it gives few. What is this power? Where does it come from? I hope to learn the... Many try to join our order, but most do not have the skill necessary to be of use. The Fae possess a certain communion with the magical energies of nature. Never stop practicing.
Not as easy. Focus, newcomer. The trial. I am not here to socialize.
You can speak when you return.
Direct your attention to the...
Concentrate on the task at hand.
Greetings. I will be the savant presiding. Traditionally, applicants have prepared for the... But as Augur mentioned, we realize you are unique. Do you have any... The magic of the ritual confronts the applicant with his or her. How this potential manifests varies. Whatever it takes... And a final warning. While whatever shape the magic takes isn't real, not truly, what happens can have real consequences. Do not eager, aren't we? Very well. If you can face the spectre of your potential and emerge from the magic, good luck. This is not the time for idle chatter. It is a wondrous world we have been graced with. We have a responsibility to know what these forces are. Ah, yes. Newly welcomed applicants are known as neophytes. In time, particularly gifted members may one day reach the rank of adept. They are traditionally the agents. A very few may reach the rank of savant. These are the leaders of the order. You must step into the circle. Then you can submit to the good luck. Not the most welcoming place, is it? Is that a pile of corpses? Fascinating. Don't pay any attention to my ramblings, Initiate. Those fair Gorta look like they're out for blood. Possess quite the capacity for violence. Intriguing. By the founders, what is that? A synergistic construct of all chemical elements resonant within a cage-crafted crystalline structure. I do hope you'll survive the trial. We must discuss this further. The first phase of the trial is complete. Proceed further. Another cave. How interesting. Ah, a waterfall. That's lovely. What in blazes to offer? The details are excellent. You obviously know them well. Something is terribly wrong. Ahead, I sense another's presence in the trial. Dissonance, growing.
Where am I? What is this place? The dark... And you? I smell death on you, child. I am the Dark Empyrean, and I will not... I could kill you now, but I have plans.
Such power. One moment we were linked, sustaining the magic of the trial, and then 3 mages lay dead, and 2 have fled screaming. I know the trial is not meant to be shared, but what in Lyria's name happened? A woman? Masked in shadow? For now, we have dead to bury, and missing mages to find. As for in the name of the Scholia Arcana, I hereby confer unto you the title of... Oh, right. You passed. Up until the point where all hell broke loose, you were even doing well. I am sending you to the ruin of Aod, to the south. There, the element of fire... After your initiation trial, the magic in Aod shifted. I believe this magic is tied. He is one of the most gifted sage-crafters we have produced in... Wherever he may be, I hope he is safe, and will soon return to the... Priests of Rekor have long sealed Aod from entry, but we know it to be an ancient... If you're interested in the details, read Velthilion Carr's Aod, the Mythos of Mayhem. I'm sure our library has a copy. Somewhat self-destructive cultists who they frequent places they believe blessed by Rekor, and do not welcome trespass. It does not surprise me that Nuala survived the backlash from the first day of her novitiate. She demonstrated an insatiable but now I can't help but wonder if we pushed her too hard. Followers of Rekor dwell within. They have... As for what may be causing the recent swelling in power emanating from the root, good fortune. Oh, yes, welcome. Oh, yes, welcome.
As teachers go, Master Telemachus Ra.
Hello.
I am the great huntress Hartwan, and the pleasure was all mine, child of the dust. Goodbye. You again? How quaint. Well, I am the Goodbye.
Welcome.
So, you're done. It's good that someone does. Go on. Let's line... Yes, yes. Of course. And then? All right. Next. Yes, yes. Excellent. That's a perfect order for these fools. Saves me the trouble of talking to them. Thank you. Farewell.
Be warned.
Good. You've come. I cannot let that happen. Of course, afterwards, dispose of them. She is no politician. We believe this she spends most of her time in the embassy. Goodbye.
How nice.
Don't test me.
How fare you this day? Goodbye.
My experience with you has convinced me that fell persons, while slightly stupid and aggravating,
I am very pleased to see you again. Mortal such fast. I have heard he is a noble spirit, a beacon of wisdom and calm in this change. All those who come to greet the king must first be granted permission. You mortals are talented at fighting what is natural. Perhaps this is your... I have done little in my many seasons than venture to this place and attempt to gain an audience with King...
Oh, why must you keep bothering me? My audience with... They make up the most powerful body in the world, especially now that the mortal races have become... I spent many seasons wandering the wood of the She, acquiring the knowledge. Such groveling is beneath me. Such spectacles of royalty and procedure. I may be able to wait and... He's the most beautiful of us, a being of absolute perfection. It is a shame he must grace the mortal realm in a physical... I remember a cycle, a great many seasons, when your kind did not trample the gardens of Issa. This city was...
Welcome.
Show some respect. We must keep the funds. Farewell.
Hello, child.
Greeting. If you have any questions...
What do you want? Do you have business with the Varani in the Gardens of Issa? If so, then you must speak with me, Kierna Brent. They don't deserve the breath I waste on them. There are powerful warriors in their ranks, but as a group, this is not a life I chose, here in this fetid swamp of a city. I was raised on the sea, an adventurer, and Cowardice drives her ambition, a fear of being discovered. All the Alpha lack confidence. I do not enjoy this position, talking instead of fighting, speaking of the enemy instead of fate. You must mean Keen and her cohorts in the embassy. Lapdogs, all of them. They don't appreciate. This plot interests you. Listen, Ambassador Keen tries to stop me, but she can only do so while she lives and breathes. You can help me put an end to that. Fine, but you are playing this game for the weaker side. If Keen...
Enidon grant you justice.
I've got what you need here.
Idle hands can lead one into trouble. Farewell.
Welcome. Let us never speak of this again. I don't know you. I don't like you. And I hope I never see you again. Take this gold and these supplies. Such items are hard to come by in wartime. This is...
Hello, child.
Be branded! Doesn't look like you've had any luck. Forge me an honor brand and I'll do my best to make it worth your time. Goodbye.
returned. Have you found them? Then you must tell me, please. Very well. But I'm eager to learn what happened that night. Don't be a stranger! Please, tell me what Then you must tell me, please. Yes, I suspected as much. Casera has a... Very well. What happened next? That seems unlikely to me. Alurin was the most gifted of the but of the third. What happened? Bertrand always had an affinity for animals. Well, I'm sure you've done all you could. So take this with my thanks. And I will give you a discount of my service. Until next time. You've returned. Have you found them? Then you must tell me, please. Yes, very well. What happened next? Regrettable. It truly is. He was neither as strong as Aloran nor as smart as Cassera. I see. And so? What of the third? Yes. Aloran often trusted too much in his own skill, and did not properly understand his environment. The Sidhe would have made quick work of him. Those fools. All this bloodshed over a gem. And in addition, I will discount my services to you, should you ever be in need of... Until next time! That's not quite right. That's not quite right. Can I help you?
Good day, Askel's letting me help with the business again. Thank you for getting those in. Nice talking to you.
Avoid the gate.